Hey guys, this is me, Nisi of Spoil Me Nisi, back with another video. So this is my reaction and my 2 cents on the new movie, The Little Things, that just premiered this past weekend on January 29th. I watched this movie on HBO Max, but I have heard that it's in theaters, just in case if you haven't seen it. So, just in case if you have not seen this movie, just a disclaimer, this video is going to have spoilers, as always, if you are familiar with my other videos. So, let's get into it. So I have very mixed reviews on this movie. There were certainly some things that I liked about the movie, but there are also some things that I didn't like about the movie. To be very honest, on a scale of 1 to 10, I actually give this movie a 6, which is pretty low, considering one of my favorite actors of all time is in the movie. So let's talk about the positive. I do like the actors that played the lead in the movie. I always focus on that. If you haven't seen my previous videos, that does interest me a lot. Sometimes I like when movies are played by actors I've never seen before, and then sometimes I like when they're played by well-known actors. This time around, I really love the job that Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek did in this movie. Some things that really stuck out to me in the movie was Jared Leto and Denzel Washington's appearance in the movie. Now, Denzel Washington and Jared Leto are two very attractive men. Usually in all of the other movies that they play in, they look they look pretty good. You see them on red carpets, and both of them are known as being pretty handsome men. So I think that it's pretty awesome that in this movie, neither of them look too hot, both of them looked a little bit heavier than they usually look in other movies. I'm not sure if they had on one of those suits that, change a person's appearance, or if they had to change their appearance for the sake of their roles in this movie. I'm not sure. So with Denzel Washington, still very handsome. I don't care, what size Denzel is, what he wears. He'll always be an attractive man. But he went fully gray for this movie. Now, he is a man of a particular age. He's a little bit, up in age now. But I don't know if he went gray for the movie or if he's, gray for real. I know I saw him on some red carpets, not too long ago, and he wasn't fully gray. So who knows? And then also, like I said before, his appearance, he's a little bit heavier than I'm used to seeing him, and then Jared Leto, they had Jared Leto looking rough in this movie. They had him looking like really rough. To be 100% honest, I only realized that it was Jared Leto because of the eyes and because in the description of the movie, they said that it was him. To be 100% honest, if I didn't already know that Jared Leto was going to play in this movie, I might not have known that it was him, because they really had him looking like a completely different person in this movie. So I like that. I like when well-known stars are able to play in a movie and play someone completely go into their role. And I happen to really like that about the movie. I like seeing Rami Malek in this movie. Now, I know Rami Malek from that movie with the museum, Night at the Museum. He played the Pharaoh in the museum in both movies. I really like the Night at the Museum franchise of movies. So that's where I pretty much remember him from. So I like his acting in Night at the Museum. So I was actually pretty happy to see him play in another movie, especially a movie that's, kind of big. So I thought that was great. Another thing that I really enjoyed about the movie is that, it was a mystery, and I love a good mystery movie, and I love a movie that takes you on a ride to where you kind of just don't know how it's going to end. And that's exactly what this movie did. So pretty much in this movie, you're trying to figure out who this murderer is. He goes around, killing women. He doesn't rape them. He doesn't do anything like that to them. He just gets off on just killing women. This killer in the movie, and apparently these types of crimes was happening like I think they said maybe 15 years ago or maybe 10 years ago. I'm not really sure the timeline. But Denzel Washington's character, Deke or Deacon, pretty much he had been on the force for many years, and he was still trying to solve a crime that happened earlier in his career, and the murders were very similar. The person in the murders from when he was younger, the case that he was trying to solve, said individual did really weird things to women, killed them, bit them, he was just a weird person, and he never solved that crime. He never, he never found out, who it was or prosecuted them. He had some leads and some ideas on who did it, but never found out who did it. And then now, in more recent years of his life, he, for some reason, he ends up having to go back to the area around all of his colleagues who seem to hate him. And there's another person doing those same crimes. Now, throughout the movie, we don't know if the person committing these crimes is the same one from the previous cases that Deacon has worked on. You don't know if it's the same person, or you don't know if it's like a new person or a copycat. So during the movie, they're just kind of trying to find that out, so Deacon and Baxter, who was Rami Malek, kind of joined forces together to try to find out who this killer is. Everyone is like warning Baxter or Rami Malek about Deacon, Denzel Washington's character, because throughout the movie, that something has happened in his career to make all of his previous peers and colleagues, not really fool with him like that and speak very lowly of him. But they don't really reveal it until the end, and come to find out, at the end of the movie, they have a lot of disdain towards him because by accident, he killed one of the surviving victims, and the coroner and some of his peers helped him to cover it up. So they reported that said victim, that Deacon Denzel Washington accidentally killed, they reported that she was a victim and that the murderer killed her, but in reality, Deacon, the detective, he killed her because he was really spooked out by being on the crime scene. She walked up, his reflexes, he shot her. It wasn't premeditated. He didn't mean to do it. It was an accident, but they covered up for him just to kind of save his ass. So I guess, after that, they didn't like him. So during the movie, before you find that out, to be 100% honest, in my opinion, everyone in the movie kind of seemed like, a possible murderer, because it's a big mystery. They don't really have any real leads on who's doing it, and everybody in the movie is creepy. Deacon, Denzel Washington's character, he's creepy as hell. For most of the movie, I felt like he's just like a crazy guy, talks to dead people. He was seeing spirits of the girls that died. Halfway through the movie, I personally thought that they were going to turn it around and he was going to be the killer of the movie. I had thought that I had solved the case. But then when they introduced you to Sparma, who was Jared Leto's character, my opinion kind of changed. He's super creepy. They're leaning towards him being the murderer. He ends up killing this girl. Well, he didn't, but the murderer ends up killing this girl. Her parents say she had on a red hair tie, and you really think that he's the one that did it, but he keeps saying that he didn't do it. And in the end, Detective Baxter, Rami Malek, ends up killing Sparma, Jared Leto's character. And the thing that kind of sucked about that, which is now I'll go into what I didn't like about the movie, he didn't do it. So by the end of the movie, the viewer goes through this whole entire ride just to go to a brick wall, and they don't even reveal who killed the girl. So it's almost pointless. No one finds out. It's this big mystery that's never unsolved. So And that's what I dislike most about the movie. And that's why from a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it a 6. Because it's like you go on this like big ride in the movie where you think that you're so close to finding out who the killer is, just for one of the police officers to kill the person that you think is the killer. And then you find out that he didn't get killed. So really at this point in the movie, the only people that you know for a fact are killing people are the police officers. And I'm not really sure if the writers did this on purpose. But the only people that you know for a fact killed someone is Deacon, Denzel Washington's character, who killed the girl by accident, and Baxter, Rami Malek's character, who killed an innocent weirdo without knowing if he actually killed the girls. It was just kind of messed up. So that whole aspect of it is what I did not like about the movie. At the end of the movie, Deacon's character ends up, letting him know no angels, meaning, don't let, the women whose, cases you're trying to solve, don't let them haunt you. Pretty much told him that because he's being haunted. Denzel Washington's character, he's a creepy dude. He talks to corpses. And Baxter, Rami Malek's character, was kind of turning into him in the movie. So I guess, to help him out so that he doesn't, become kind of a weirdo like him, he sends the guy a red hairpin or hair clip to make him think that, like, the guy Sparma, Jared Leto's character, was the killer. But then later on, when the guy is cleaning everything up, you find out that he actually bought that red hair clip and Sparma really wasn't the killer. There was no proof that he was the killer. So, that's pretty much it. Pretty much the gist of the movie, and pretty much like why I liked and didn't like the movie. I liked how they acted the movie, who acted in the movie, how they transformed into the actors to play in the movie, how they brought everything out. But the execution of the movie, the ending of the movie and all of that, I didn't like it, because in the end, it just kind of seemed like one of those like pointless movies. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. And I give it a solid 6, that ending. But if you haven't already seen it, if you like a good mystery movie, I recommend seeing it. Why not, Definitely glad I saw it on HBO and not in the movies, because if I had paid money to go see it, I would have been pretty pissed, considering the ending. But that's just me. So I hope you like this video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already done so. Like my video, share my video, and until next time, peace.